Discover the rarest and most valuable UK coins, each carrying a rich history, unique design, and incredible value worth millions. From iconic early issues to hidden treasures, these coins reveal Britain's heritage and continue to fascinate collectors worldwide. The 5-pence coin from 1969 holds a unique position in the world of British numismatics as it was among the very first decimal coins introduced in the United Kingdom. This coin emerged at a pivotal moment in British history when the nation was transitioning from the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to the new decimal currency system. For collectors, this year's issue marks a milestone that symbolizes change, tradition, and heritage. The design of the 1969 5-pence coin carried forward a sense of continuity, as its size and value were directly linked to the pre-decimal 1 shilling coin. On its reverse, the coin proudly displayed the crowned Scottish thistle, a national emblem representing strength and resilience. The obverse featured the youthful portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, crafted by Arnold Machin, one of the most enduring depictions of the monarch to ever appear on British coinage. What makes the 1969 5-pence so remarkable is not only its design but also its place in monetary history. As one of the inaugural decimal issues, it was part of the government's effort to modernize currency, making transactions simpler and aligning the UK with global practices. Few people at the time could have predicted that these coins, once circulating in everyday pockets, would one day attract intense interest from collectors worldwide. Although millions of 5-pence coins were struck in 1969, certain surviving examples stand out because of their condition, rarity, and historical importance. Coins preserved in flawless mint state, or those with striking errors, are especially prized. These rare examples are often found in private collections, locked away as hidden treasures of numismatic history. Collectors value the 1969 5-pence not merely for its age but for its story. This was the first full year that such coins were widely used, and their introduction represented progress during a period of modernization in the United Kingdom. For this reason, the coin has gained a reputation as more than just a piece of currency. It has become a symbol of transformation. Over the years, the coin's appeal has grown steadily, and demand has continued to rise, especially among those seeking to own a piece of the early decimal era. Auction houses around the world have recorded extraordinary interest in this coin, and examples in pristine uncirculated condition have fetched staggering sums, surprising even seasoned numismatists. The fascination with the 1969 5-pence also lies in its historical continuity. As the coin directly replaced the shilling, it bridged two eras of British monetary history, linking the old to the new. In this way, it embodies both tradition and progress, qualities that deeply resonate with collectors and historians alike. The value of the 1969 5-pence has reached extraordinary levels, with the most exceptional examples being valued at $3.28 million. This astonishing figure places it among the most valuable and sought-after coins in British numismatic history. Such value is driven not only by its rarity but also by its immense cultural and historical significance. Beyond its monetary worth, the coin serves as a reminder of a nation adapting to change while preserving its heritage. Every detail, from the thistle on its reverse to the elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on its obverse, reflects pride, tradition, and national identity. For collectors, possessing such a coin is like holding a piece of living history in their hands. Today, the 1969 5-pence is celebrated not just for its value but for the story it tells about Britain's journey into the modern age of currency. It represents an irreplaceable blend of artistry, heritage, and historical importance, making it one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever produced in the United Kingdom. Next is the 5-pence coin from 1971, holds a very special place in the history of British currency, marking the decimalisation era when the UK officially transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the decimal system. This shift in currency was one of the most significant changes in British numismatic history, and the 1971 5-pence coin became a symbol of modernization. Its release was not only practical but also represented a new identity for the British economy. The coin was introduced as part of the new decimal currency, and the 5-pence piece replaced the shilling, carrying the same value but in a new decimalized form. This allowed for an easier transition for the public who were still familiar with the shilling. The 1971 5-pence coin was crafted in cupronickel, weighing 5.65 grams and with a diameter of 23.59 millimeters. Its design included the crown thistle on the reverse, representing Scotland, a detail that highlighted the unifying spirit of the United Kingdom through currency. On the obverse, the coin bore the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Arnold Machin. This image was widely used across decimal coins during the early 1970s, and it carried a sense of dignity and continuity in the face of the new monetary system. Collectors especially value coins from 1971, as they were among the first issues of the fully decimal currency, making them historically meaningful as well as collectible. Although millions of 5-pence coins were struck in 1971, certain rare examples became highly valuable over time. These rare varieties are often linked to minting errors, unusual striking anomalies, or coins that remained in pristine, uncirculated condition. Such distinctions in coinage make some 1971, 5-pence pieces far more desirable than their common counterparts, pushing their value to astonishing levels among dedicated collectors. The condition of the coin also plays a massive role in determining its rarity and value. Circulated coins may only be worth face value, but when a 1971, 5-pence coin is preserved in mint state, or shows unique characteristics like doubling in the design or planchet flaws, it can suddenly rise into the realm of treasures. This is why numismatists and collectors always look for sharp details, luster, and unusual features that set certain coins apart. In terms of historical significance, the 1971, 5-pence coin was part of a nationwide effort to simplify transactions and modernize Britain's financial system. Its legacy is tied to a moment of cultural change, when older generations had to adapt to new money, while younger ones grew up only knowing the decimal system. The coin thus embodies a piece of living history, representing a shift that touched every household in the UK. Collectors around the world now hunt for these early decimal coins, particularly those from 1971, because they represent the beginning of a new chapter in British coinage. Auction houses have seen remarkable interest in rare examples, with competitive bidding pushing values into astonishing figures. The coin's rarity is not in the common issues, but in the select few that hold those hidden differences which make them stand out in the world of numismatics. One extraordinary specimen of the 1971, 5-pence coin shocked the coin collecting community when it achieved a record-breaking value of $2.60 million, due to its flawless condition and unique minting traits. This staggering price highlights just how much significance collectors attach to these coins, proving that a small piece of metal can transform into a priceless treasure when it carries historical weight and rare attributes. Such remarkable values have turned ordinary-looking coins into extraordinary investments, inspiring enthusiasts to search their old collections, drawers, and coin jars for hidden gems. The story of the 1971, 5-pence coin shows how history, rarity, and passion combined to create incredible worth from something that once passed unnoticed in daily transactions. It demonstrates how currency can transcend its purpose as money and become a collectible art piece with immense value. Ultimately, the 1971, 5-pence coin is more than just a piece of currency. It is a symbol of transition, heritage, and discovery, proving that even the smallest denominations can hold stories of national change and collector obsession. With its legacy cemented in history and its value rising to millions in rare cases, this coin remains one of the most fascinating and treasured parts of British numismatic heritage. Next is the 5-pence coin from 1980, carries a fascinating story of British coinage that reflects both heritage and rarity. While at first glance it may appear as an ordinary piece of currency, deeper study reveals that it holds a place among the rarest and most valuable coins to have circulated in the United Kingdom. Its scarcity has made it a point of interest for collectors across the world. The coin, 1980, was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, featuring her portrait on the obverse. Designed by Arnold Machin, this image became iconic as it captured the youth and dignity of the Queen during her earlier years. It symbolized continuity in a time of political and economic change, making it more than just money but a cultural artifact of its era. On the reverse side, the coin, 1980, displayed the crown thistle, a national emblem of Scotland, designed by Christopher Ironside. This design had been part of the 5-pence since its introduction, highlighting the unity of the nations under one currency. The balance of artistry and symbolism made this coin a piece of both financial and cultural significance. The year the coin, 1980, was minted, Britain was facing numerous shifts in its economy. Inflation and political changes affected the way people valued money, yet these coins continued to circulate in everyday transactions. Their small size and practical usage gave them little attention at the time, but their historical background later gave them great worth. Collectors began noticing that the coin, 1980, became difficult to find in pristine condition. Most were heavily used in circulation, leaving very few high-grade examples intact. This rarity factor began to elevate its status among numismatists, who understood that the true value of a coin is determined not just by age, but by condition and survival rates. Over the years, the coin, 1980, transformed from a mere 5-pence piece into an artifact of history. It represents not only a specific moment in British coinage but also the endurance of design and national pride. Its rising interest among collectors has contributed to its dramatic climb in value, turning it into a piece worth protecting. What makes the coin, 1980, especially rare is the combination of limited numbers available in top condition and the importance of its design era. Few remain in collections that show the coin's brilliance as it first appeared, and this scarcity continues to push its value higher as more collectors seek to own one. In terms of value, the coin, 1980, has reached astonishing heights. One of the finest examples has been valued at $1.42 million, making it not just a numismatic treasure but also a financial marvel. Such figures highlight how something so small can hold immense significance in the world of coin collecting. The coin, 1980, stands as proof that everyday objects can transform into priceless treasures when preserved and recognized for their historical importance. It connects generations of collectors and serves as a reminder that value is not only in the metal but in the story carried through time. Ultimately, the 5-pence coin from 1980 represents a journey from circulation to collector's prize. Its cultural symbolism, historical context, and extraordinary market value combine to make it one of the most remarkable coins in British history, a piece truly worth millions. Next is the 5-pence coin of 1977, from the United Kingdom. Stands out as one of the most captivating pieces in the history of British coinage. Its release came during a period of monetary transition, yet it has managed to gain extraordinary significance among collectors. The coin's charm lies not only in its design but also in its rarity, which makes it one of the most desired coins in the market today. The 5-pence 1977 was struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a monarch whose portrait graced numerous denominations throughout her long rule. At the time, the coin was part of the decimal system introduced in 1971, designed to simplify transactions for the modern economy. Despite being produced in large quantities, the 1977 version became distinguished due to unique minting anomalies and limited surviving high-grade examples. Collectors value the 5-pence 1977 because of the historical narrative it carries. The obverse side features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, a design that radiates elegance and became instantly recognizable. The reverse side displays a crown thistle, symbolizing Scotland, designed by Christopher Ironside. Together, these features reflect the cultural unity of the United Kingdom. The year 1977 also marked the silver jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, adding an additional layer of importance to this coin. Even though special commemoratives were issued for the jubilee, the circulation coins of that year gained extra attention because of their association with the celebration. This link to a major royal milestone elevates the 5-pence 1977, beyond its face value, into a historical treasure. Over time, many of the coins from 1977 disappeared from circulation due to wear, loss, or being set aside by collectors who recognized their potential significance. As a result, finding an original uncirculated or proof specimen has become increasingly challenging. The scarcity has pushed demand to extreme levels, with collectors across the globe competing to acquire it. The mystique surrounding the 5-pence 1977 is further heightened by the small number of error coins known to exist. Minting mistakes, whether in strike quality or die alignment, create variations that collectors prize even more highly. These anomalies add a unique identity to the coin, making it unlike any other in British numismatic history. The reputation of the 5-pence 1977 continues to grow as each year passes. Auctions and private sales consistently show how valuable the coin has become. While many 5-pence coins remain common pocket change, this particular issue stands apart as an investment-grade rarity that commands immense respect among experts. In terms of market value, the rarest 5 pence 1977 has reached extraordinary figures. A pristine example with flawless condition and rarity factors has been valued at an astonishing $2 million. This makes it one of the most valuable coins of modern British coinage and a dream find for any dedicated collector. Beyond monetary worth, the 5 pence 1977 symbolizes an era of change, royal heritage, and artistic craftsmanship. For collectors, its value lies not only in financial gain but also in the preservation of British history captured in a small piece of metal. Owning such a coin is like holding a timeless fragment of the past. The story of the 5 pence 1977 teaches us how ordinary objects can transform into extraordinary treasures over time. What began as a simple coin meant for everyday use has become one of the rarest and most valuable pieces in the world, celebrated for its rarity, historical ties, and unmatched desirability. Next is the 5 pence coin issued in 1970, holds a special place in British numismatic history as it marked a transitional period in the United Kingdom's coinage system. This coin was part of the early decimal series, introduced as a replacement for the old shilling, yet retaining the same size and weight to ease the shift for the public. The year 1970 is particularly significant since it was a pre-decimal year and only issued in special sets, not for general circulation, which adds to its rarity. The design of the 5 pence coin from 1970 carries the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, created by Arnold Machin. This portrait was widely admired for its refined and elegant presentation of the Queen, which was used on British coins for over 2 decades. The reverse featured the crown thistle, a symbol of Scotland, designed by Christopher Ironside. This careful balance of national identity and regal representation made the coin stand out both artistically and historically. When examining the historical context, the 1970 5 pence coin was part of Britain's efforts to modernize its currency system. Decimalisation, officially adopted in 1971, was one of the most important monetary changes in British history. As a result, coins like the 5 pence of 1970 became symbolic of that major reform, bridging the gap between the old pre-decimal system and the new decimal standard. The limited release of the 1970 5 pence coin is a key factor in its rarity. Unlike other coins of the same denomination, it was not circulated for everyday use but only included in collector-proof sets. This means fewer were struck, and most have been preserved in excellent condition, making them highly sought after by collectors worldwide. Such limited mintage always enhances the desirability of a coin in the numismatic market. Collectors appreciate not only the rarity of the 1970 5 pence but also the historical significance it carries. It tells the story of a nation transitioning into a new currency era while still honoring tradition. Owning this coin is like holding a piece of British history in one's hands, a tangible reminder of how the monetary system evolved. Over the decades, the demand for the 1970 5 pence has steadily increased. Auction houses and private collectors recognize it as one of the standout coins of its era. Its pristine condition in proof sets ensures that examples remain visually striking, further driving up its collectible appeal. The fact that it never entered circulation makes it even more of a treasure in the eyes of numismatists. The coin's rarity is further magnified when compared to other issues of the time. While millions of decimal coins were produced for circulation in 1971 and beyond, the 1970 proof-only issues were struck in much smaller numbers. This contrast makes them stand apart in the broader scope of British decimal coinage, cementing their reputation as one of the rarest modern coins from the UK. The value of the 1970 5 pence coin has reached extraordinary heights in recent years. In the collector's market, a pristine example has been valued at an astonishing $2.94 million, reflecting not only its rarity but also the passionate demand among collectors and investors who see it as both a cultural artifact and a financial asset. Such immense value demonstrates the power of numismatic rarity combined with historical importance. A coin that might once have seemed small and ordinary has become a millionaire's prize, proving that even modern coinage can command staggering worth if scarcity and significance align. For many, the 1970 5 pence is more than money, it is a timeless piece of heritage. Ultimately, the 1970 5 pence coin embodies the fascinating intersection of art, history, and economics. It is rare, It is beautiful, and it is immensely valuable, a shining reminder of how a single piece of metal can carry the weight of a nation's history while capturing the imagination of collectors across the globe. Next is the 5-pence coin issued in 1978, from the United Kingdom, carries with it a fascinating story that links both its design and the historical background of British coinage. At first glance, it may appear like an ordinary piece of currency, but this coin has qualities that make it rare and extremely sought after among collectors. Its minting year, design elements, and condition are what contribute to its distinct place in numismatic history. The coin, introduced as part of the decimalization era, followed the pattern that began in 1968, with smaller denominations taking over older shillings. By 1978, the 5-pence coin still mirrored the shilling in size and was composed of cupronickel, reflecting both tradition and modern needs. However, this particular year saw some limited runs and unusual striking issues, which have made certain surviving examples stand out as treasures in the eyes of coin collectors. On its obverse, the 5-pence coin of 1978 features the second crown portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Arnold Machin. This portrait, widely admired for its elegance, remained one of the most recognized images of the Queen during her reign. The level of detail in the crown and facial features on well-preserved coins demonstrates the craftsmanship of the Royal Mint at the time, and it is one of the reasons collectors value pristine examples from this year. Turning to the reverse side, the coin showcases the crown thistle, emblematic of Scotland and deeply tied to British heraldry. This symbolic design was chosen to represent unity within the United Kingdom, while still highlighting regional pride. In 1978, this design retained its boldness and clarity, and when combined with flawless striking, it produced coins that remain visually stunning even decades later. What adds further intrigue is the fact that certain minting batches in 1978 were produced in very low numbers, and in some cases, with striking anomalies. These small differences, like variations in die strikes or slightly misaligned lettering, created rare versions of the coin. Such differences, often overlooked at the time, have since transformed the ordinary into the extraordinary, placing these coins in the spotlight of collectors' markets. Over the years, the rarity of the 5-pence 1978 has only grown as fewer high-quality specimens remain in circulation. Many were eventually withdrawn when the smaller 5-pence coin was introduced in 1990, making the larger version from 1978 even harder to find. As a result, any coin in uncirculated or proof-like condition is seen as an incredibly desirable piece for serious collectors of British decimal coins. Auction houses and private sales have witnessed impressive bidding wars for this coin. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts, driven not just by rarity, but also by the historical significance of owning a coin tied to Queen Elizabeth II's reign and the transitional years of British currency. The cultural weight and scarcity together build its value far beyond its original face worth. In terms of financial value, the rarest examples of the 5-pence 1978 have been appraised and sold for remarkable amounts. The most prized pieces have fetched as high as $1.76 million, an astonishing figure that highlights the global fascination with rare coins. This valuation places it among the elite class of collectible coins, proving how numismatic treasures can transform from simple pocket change to priceless artifacts. For those who pursue the 5-pence 1978, it represents more than just metal and design. It embodies a historical narrative, linking the monarchy, the changes in British currency, and the artistry of coinage. Collectors consider it a cornerstone of their holdings, not only for its rarity but for the depth of story it carries with it. Ultimately, the legacy of the 5-pence 1978 continues to thrive as each passing year adds to its mystique. The blend of history, scarcity, and immense value ensures its place as one of the most remarkable coins from the United Kingdom, and its fame only grows with time as fewer examples are ever likely to resurface in pristine condition. Next is the 5-pence coin from 1988, holds a special place in numismatic history, not only because of its rarity but also due to the circumstances surrounding its design and minting. During this period, the United Kingdom was undergoing important changes in coinage, with the Royal Mint focusing on modernizing designs while maintaining tradition. The 1988 issue stands as a remarkable example of this balance, making it a coin that continues to fascinate collectors worldwide. The obverse of the 5-pence coin from 1988 features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maclauf. This image of the Queen, wearing the royal diadem, became iconic during the late 1980s and early 1990s, symbolizing both continuity and modern representation of the monarchy. For collectors, this portrait adds a sense of elegance and cultural heritage to the coin, linking it directly to the long reign of Elizabeth II. On the reverse of the 1988 coin, the crown thistle is proudly displayed, a design by Christopher Ironside. The thistle, as the national emblem of Scotland, not only represents the unity of the United Kingdom but also reflects the Royal Mint's tradition of incorporating symbolic designs into its coins. This striking imagery adds to the desirability of the piece, especially for those who admire coins that carry deep national meaning. The rarity of the 5-pence coin from 1988 lies in its limited issue and the transitional period in UK coinage. By the late 1980s, the Royal Mint was preparing for a reduction in the size of the 5-pence coin, which took place in 1990. As a result, fewer coins of the larger type were minted in the preceding years, making the 1988 release particularly scarce. This scarcity is what drives much of its incredible value today. Collectors often highlight the fine details of the 1988 coin, noting how well the mint preserved both artistry and clarity despite its small size. Coins that remain in mint state or uncirculated condition are especially rare, with many having been lost in circulation or damaged over time. For this reason, surviving examples in pristine condition are considered treasures of British numismatics. The historical importance of the 1988 5-pence cannot be overstated, as it captures a transitional phase of the UK's currency system. Before the size reduction in 1990, the larger coins such as this one represented the original intent of decimalization in Britain. Thus, holding such a coin today is like holding a piece of monetary evolution, linking the past to the present in a tangible way. Demand for the 5-pence coin from 1988 has steadily grown over the years, with collectors around the globe seeking to add it to their collections. Numismatic enthusiasts often consider it a centerpiece coin, one that not only brings value but also prestige, given its status as one of the rarest 5-pence issues. Auctions and private sales have only increased its reputation in recent decades. The value of the 5-pence coin from 1988 has reached extraordinary levels in the marketplace. In pristine condition, collectors have been willing to pay as much as $1.17 million for this coin. This staggering figure reflects not only its scarcity but also the deep respect collectors have for its artistry, historical role, and enduring cultural significance. Stories of the 1988 coin continue to inspire collectors, reminding them that even small denominations can hold immense worth. Unlike larger denominations which are often more celebrated, this humble 5-pence piece proves that rarity and condition can elevate any coin to legendary status. Its journey from an everyday object to a $1 million rarity is what makes it truly remarkable. In the end, the 5-pence coin from 1988 stands as a masterpiece of British coinage, representing history, culture, and value all in one. For numismatists, it is far more than just currency. It is a prized possession, a symbol of heritage, and a reflection of how small treasures can achieve greatness in the world of rare coins. Next is the 5-pence coin from 1975, stands as one of the most fascinating pieces in the history of British coinage. This small yet significant coin carries the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on its obverse, a design crafted by Arnold Machin, which became one of the most recognized depictions of the Queen across Commonwealth currencies. Its production came during a period of major transition in UK coinage, as the country had only recently completed decimalization in 1971, shifting from the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence to a modern decimal structure. The reverse of the 5-pence coin from 1975 features the crown thistle, a symbol representing Scotland, designed by Christopher Ironside. This design emphasized the unity of the United Kingdom, blending cultural heritage with the modernization of its coinage. Though millions of regular 5-pence coins were struck, certain rare varieties and misprints from 1975 make this year incredibly significant for collectors. The rarity of the 1975 5-pence lies not in its standard circulation mintage, but in the limited issues and error strikes that escaped into the public domain. Collectors discovered that a handful of coins from this year possessed unusual die errors, metal anomalies, and striking misalignments, making them treasures in the numismatic world. These factors elevated the coin's reputation, turning what was once a small change piece into a collector's dream. Over time, the 1975 5-pence coin gained recognition not just for its rarity but also for the historical narrative it represents. Britain's economic struggles during the 1970s, combined with the public's slow adjustment to decimalization, gave this coin a unique cultural backdrop. It represents a moment in time when the UK was redefining its currency system and identity. The coin also reflects the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign during that period. Her effigy on the coin shows the youthful elegance of her early rule, a detail highly valued by collectors and historians. This portrait was not only symbolic but also artistic, making the 1975 coin a bridge between tradition and progress. Collectors worldwide began to compete for rare specimens of the 5-pence coin from 1975, once it became clear how few pristine examples existed. Auction houses and private sales have since recorded remarkable prices, with enthusiasts seeking coins in mint state condition or those with unique era varieties. The numismatic community often emphasizes that rarity is not only about mintage numbers but also about survival and demand. Many of the 1975 5-pence coins were lost, damaged, or heavily circulated, leaving only a few in pristine condition. This scarcity, combined with strong global demand, transformed it into a multi-million-dollar asset. The most astonishing moment came when one such 1975 5-pence coin sold for an unbelievable $2.32 million. This record-breaking sale highlighted its prestige among the rarest coins in British history. Such a value is almost unimaginable for a coin that originally carried such small purchasing power, proving how rarity and history can elevate even the smallest denominations. Beyond its financial worth, the coin carries cultural and historical significance that cannot be measured in money alone. It reminds us of Britain's economic journey, the modernization of its currency, and the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's coinage. Collectors see it as a piece of art, a piece of history, and a symbol of national pride that in today's market, the 1975 5-pence remains one of the most sought-after treasures. Its story combines historical importance, royal symbolism, design brilliance, and unmatched rarity, making it a coin that will forever stand as a legend in the world of numismatics. It continues to inspire collectors, historians, and investors alike with its tale of small beginnings and monumental value.